So the book covers a lot of individual formulas. It does things like the net price of an item is its list price minus its discount, and the total price is its list price plus its sales tax. And it's so much to keep track of all these individual formulas. Instead of keeping track of all those individually, what I like to think of is whenever we're talking about a percentage change of something, you always have this sort of a scenario. The amount that you have after the change is the amount you had before the change, plus or minus the amount of the change. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. If you increased by 3, whatever you were plus 3 is going to be the amount after. Now, the difference, the main change here, the main thing about these is that the amount of the change is usually percentage of whatever you were before. So this right here, the amount of the change, is some percent of B. And you can see percentage of B, this is going to be some number, some percentage, some 0.3% or 0.03 or something like that, times B. And we're going to see that sort of pattern again and again on these percentage change problems. I have a few examples here, but you can always kind of come back to this general formula. All right, the list price of a tool is $18.50. On a special sale, it is offered at 20% off. What is the net price? So what we're saying here is that we'll take $18.50. This is a discount, so I'm going to say we're subtracting the amount of the change. And the amount of the change is going to be 20% of the original price. So this right here was the amount of the change. This is the amount before. And I'm doing this to figure out the amount after. This is my unknown. Whatever, I'll just keep calling it A. And so to find this, it's pretty straightforward. You can do it in 2 steps, or you can type it in 1 step into your calculator. You can do 18.5 minus, let me move this so I can see everything. 18.5 minus 0.2 times 18.5. So this is one way to type it in my calculator. I know it's going to do this multiplication before it does that subtraction, because this calculator knows the order of operations. We get 14.8. $14.80. Now, you may be wondering, why is there a second 18.5 in there? Well, what that's doing is taking this 0.2 times 18.5. This is giving us the amount of discount. This amount of the discount here, this was $3.70, it looks like. So the amount of the discount was $3.70. So we're saying the original amount, which is $18.50, minus the $3.70, gives us the $14.80. The reason I write it like this is because then that allows us to not have to take 2 steps to do this. We can do it in 1 step in the calculator. There's also another reason why, which we can see, I think on my next video. I have some examples showing why it's nice to look at it this way. So a common mistake that you often see when you see percentage increase and percentage decrease, let's consider this, this scenario. We have a volatile stock. At the beginning of the month, it's $100 per share. After 1 week, it loses 50% of its original value. After the next week, it gains 50% of its value. What is the value at the end of the 2 weeks? If you say that, well, it lost 50%, then it gained 50%, so it's back where it started, then you just fell for the common mistake that I said a lot of people do. To examine this, let's see what happens. After the beginning of the month, we have $100. After the first week, it drops to 50% of its original value, so we're down to $50. The next week, the stock increases by 50%, but it's not 50% of $100, it's 50% of $50. So this is going to be 50 plus, 50% of 50? So 0.5 times 50, which gives me 50 plus 25, which would be $75. So this is the start of the month. This is after the first week, and this all was after the second week. After the second week, they've gone up to $75. So although they decreased by 50 and then increased by 50, if you just look at those 50% and say it's the same, well, yeah, you might think for a moment that you would be back to where you began, but clearly that's not, because originally when you lost 50%, it was 50% of where you were, which is $50. Then you gain 50%, but it's not the 50% of where you were at the beginning of the month, it's where you are right now. and so you get 50% of that. All of this is to say that when you're setting up these, when you're setting up this percentage increase or decrease, you have to pay attention to which one of these is your before number, which one's your after number, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that.